Actually, All-Star break did fall to me.
Alrighty, and we're live with FHT. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Today we have a few guests. This is Serge to my right. As you know, another member of FHT. Over here to the your left, my right, is Kala. And continuing to pan over, we have Will, Mr. Scott. How you doing there?
Hey there, how are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us, everybody. So today, basically, it's just going to be a nice little having a cigar, enjoying some company, talking hockey. In the future, or actually now, if you guys want to post some questions, we'll discuss them and answer them. If you have any questions regarding hockey, I have quite a bit of hockey knowledge here. We can answer those questions. In the future, we'll be doing some tape shows and a little bit better quality audio and video. But for now, this is it. It's working well, I think. If not, let us know in a comment below. And so I guess no further ado, behind the camera, we have Darren.
Darren Redmond.
How you doing?
A Ranger fan.
Here, that's typically Darren there with the camera, with the thumb and the finger to the camera.
He's right.
So if you see that now and again, that would be Darren.
That's right. You just got to guess what finger it is.
So topics of discussion today, we really don't have any. We're just going to kind of chew the fat a little. We're going to talk about how the Red Wings decimated the Maple Leafs.
Okay. Decimated. They beat us
Jumping right in.
3-1, I think it was.
I'm not going to hold anything back right now.
We're having some issues with Austin Matthews has been out for a few games. And
Yeah, what's with the upper body injury, nondescript?
Well, here's the thing.
What's the rumor?
They don't want to...
He busted an implant.
No, I think it's a concussion. I'm pretty sure it's a concussion. They don't want to say it. But I don't like this. What do you think of this new thing where they don't tell you what the injury is?
They've never
It's been
told
around
you.
for a while.
Yeah, they never.
I mean, even in football, it's always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing with hockey is in football, you usually see the injury because of replay. In hockey, the injuries aren't as dramatic, so you don't see Joe Theismann's leg, bending backwards unless you're. Who was it a few years ago? I think it was on Dallas. His leg went into the boards and completely.
Oh, yeah. Or the laceration across the neck.
Or not Mogilny. What was his name?
Or that died on the bench.
No, the
That
other
too.
guy.
I think they kind of figured that injury out.
What was his name? The goalie. They got the Malarchuk. That was pretty obvious. The jugular.
Yeah.
I would say that's an upper body injury, definitely.
I think they've always been. It's been that way for a while.
Yeah, they don't want to give it up because then when they come back, you're going to target that knee, right?
Maybe he's up for trade and they don't.
But also, a lot of
He could be on a trading block. You never know.
a lot of the rumors with the injury updates in the NFL have to do with the betting lines.
Right.
That they have to get a little more specific, and for the lines and for the betting and for things like that.
Keeps the bets going and the fantasy leagues.
See, this goes to show you, we're not football fans. Everyone here is watching NFL.
Yeah.
We're watching hockey.
Not
Monday
only,
Night Football? No.
Right. We don't want to get sued from the NHL and show you what we're watching live.
No, that'll be the NFL. That would sue us.
That's right. You can't even say Super Bowl
right.
without somebody slapping a lawsuit on you.
The Sharks are playing the Oilers.
It's the big game. That's what they call it.
yeah.
Will is a big Sharks fan, right,
Oh,
Will?
you're a Sharks fan. Well,
How are your Sharks doing this year?
Not as good as the Knights.
Yeah, let's talk.
That'll play into your betting odds eventually.
That's right.
Oh, there you go.
That's when we'll start seeing the injury
There goes
reports.
Burns. Burns just took a spill, a little tire out. Right here.
Sorry, folks, if we cut away and just kind of mumble for a little bit, it's because we're watching the game.
This is with fans.
We're watching the game on the big screen over here.
There goes the goal.
We're watching the game over here on the big screen at Cigar Fino, who has 4 different big screens that you can watch television on in any game.
Right.
It's been known that there's a story going around that during the World Series, Game 7 of the World Series,
It's a true story.
they had this World Series on every television. Some jackwagon comes in, turns one of the televisions over to a hockey game. Nobody could understand what was going on, but hey,
Game of the World Series.
you gotta love a hockey fan, right?
I think I was here for that. Maybe I was here for one of the games.
Game 7. So if we cut away and start babbling, that's why, because we're watching the game. But anyway, back to the Vegas Knights.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? The first place Vegas Knights. Surprised?
I'm surprised.
Everybody's surprised.
I'm not. I said that at the beginning. You gotta watch for that because it's like like I said earlier, when you trade away your player, it always plays good for the other team. I think they're on that high right now. And
I think it also comes in that they're kind of ticked off. Oh, you're going to trade me because, like you said, well, I'm not worth it anymore. I'm not good enough. We'll show you. So you got a bunch of well-motivated teammates that are kind of mad. And like, well, we're going to show you. Here's
Well,
the thing.
exactly right. Think about it. I mean, think about the ego, and I mean ego in a good way.
2 points out of first right now with Kings and Pacific.
You were left out of, the team didn't protect you.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
So
Yeah, no.
Well, we like you, but bye.
So you're playing for long-term contracts. You're playing for pride.
Well, how about Marc-Andre Fleury?
Yeah.
How pissed off are you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, well.
But they did survive all that backup goalie mess through multiple goalies.
Yeah.
They could have folded their tent very easy there.
Stayed up on top.
Yeah.
He pulled a groin
He was
too.
injured for a while. Now he's back. And looks like they've got their goalies back now. But
Subban, that was interesting when what was it, Nashville, right? That's where PJ, or what's his name?
PK Subban,
PK
is that-
Subban plays for? When they played Las Vegas and their dad was there, did you guys see that?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
When they interviewed the dad, it's like, oh, how's it going? He goes, oh, just nervous, we're glad. He goes, oh, he had a Las Vegas Knights jersey on. He goes, you're going for Vegas? He goes, yeah, absolutely. He goes, PK's had his time. He goes, I can't remember.
PK had a Stanley Cup run last year.
He goes, it's
the funny
a
thing
little
is,
guy's turn.
there's 3 brothers.
We're in
And,
Vancouver, right?
The third one is a defenseman for the Canucks. But I think he's not in the NHL right now, but he is in the minor league system. So 3 brothers, all play professional hockey. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I wish I had 2 other brothers. That means I could play in the NHL.
Or a twin brother, you could be called Sedin.
Yeah.
Those guys are still going strong.
Right?
There is a theory when it comes to the Knights. So these guys are coming into Vegas. I've heard from one of my friends that stays in Vegas. They're staying at a casino. Maybe they're doing too much partying, and I don't know. They're professionals, but it's just a different
It's still a
environment.
toll, yeah. It's
Who's
still a
doing-
toll of the nightlife.
Who's doing too much partying? The players that come, or
The players that
the
come,
Knights?
right? Like the players that come.
Oh yeah.
They're coming in. It's a different environment. It's not like a regular city where you go to bed and wake up and.
That sounds more like
Yeah,
a
but-
bookie agent's problem.
Yeah, but that's an easy theory to bust. If they're losing on the road and they're winning at home, then that holds water.
They have a
Otherwise-
pretty decent home record.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting.
Well, I told you the other day, look at what the Rangers are doing. They had a really slow start. They're 12 and 13 and 3 at home. They're miserable on the road.
Yes.
But 2 big wins this weekend, one in Boston, overtime.
So
Yeah, but the Rangers, as Lundqvist goes, the Rangers guy.
Yes.
I mean, if he's having a bad game, which he went through a little run there,
Oh, yeah.
they're not going to win. I mean, he's the backbone of that team, as most goalies are, but I don't know. And he's getting up there in age. They got to start looking for somebody else.
Well, that's the whole thing.
A goal.
Edmonton just scored. Sorry.
I'll be sorry.
I'm a rookie.
For those
here,
of you that are watching us instead of the game, Edmonton just scored over the.
Yes, we're allowed
on the
to say
Ducks.
that.
Scores 2-1. Edmonton's leading.
So, Will, you were just at the Snoopy Arena up in Santa Rosa. Why don't you talk a little bit to the people about what Santa Rosa looks like after the fires and a little bit about the rink?
The historical part of that rink and all of Charles Schultz's stuff, they protected to the end. I mean, it's so historical.
From where?
The rink, the Snoopy rink in Santa Rosa is.
Charles Schultz, he created the Peanuts. That's why it's called the Snoopy Rink.
That's his rink. He built it for his daughter.
Really?
How awesome is
That's
that?
awesome.
Yes.
That's the one that's why they had no boards, the one without the boards and everything
Yes.
else. I was wondering why they were calling it the Snoopy ring.
Oh, I think it's probably built in the 50s, I think, late 50s when he got there, so they won't update that.
Yeah.
It's just too historical.
and there's
Looks
a
like they
Snoopy
plucked
right
it out
outside.
That's awesome.
of the Sound of Music or something. It looks like they plucked it right out of the movie or something and put it in there. It's so amazing inside.
But how's the game played with the boards? Isn't that a
No
weird,
boards. How's
They
that?
warned the players,
Especially the bigger kids.
yeah, they have glass at the ends, but not on
Yeah,
the
but the glass
side.
on the ends, I was watching on the video from our video, that those are even low. They're not very tall. So that's got to make
Because
killing a
You
penalty.
can talk to your players.
Yeah, not good because you can chirp at them too from their
Big
fans.
time.
That's what I understand.
We've
That's
had a
kind of
few
got
parents
into it.
warned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a little inside baseball from Mark Haupt, coach of the Ice Dogs. So last week they were up in Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
So we had a crew up there. So we're trying to get this, live feed and live updates. So I said to one of our interns, Tristan, great guy, he's a great editor. I said, Tristan, all right, they scored great. Can you find out who scored? I'm thinking he's going to go to Tiffany. He's gonna listen to what the announcer says. No, he goes over, taps coach on the shoulder during the game.
That's your man on the inside.
Look, anything to get the story.
We go beyond the Darren Pang in between the glass.
Yeah.
No, we're on the bench.
Yeah, I said no. Just because there's no glass there, there's still sort of you're not supposed to be doing that.
That's awesome.
You know.
And their benches are strange because of that glass with nothing. The penalty boxes are portable. They're back against the wall on wheels, and they roll them up and
No way.
position them up there for the games.
You heard you got to hop over the fence. There's no door.
glass there. You can't have an adult monitor inside the box without protection. It's kind of crazy.
Interesting.
Excellent.
Killing a penalty's got to be interesting because you can't hit it high off the glass.
No.
Well,
So-
anymore it's icings anyways from Bannerman's and below.
That's right.
So
Yeah, that's another thing that irks me. That's for juniors only, right? It's not for pros.
correct. It's from USA Hockey, Bantams and below, 14U and below.
So those of you that don't know, Kala's also a ref, so we're getting good information here.
Well, I don't
not
know
just
about
somebody,
good information.
not
You
just
get
a Facebook, not just a Facebook expert.
So I guess USA Hockey thinks it's gearing towards faster play, and it's more open for the skilled players to take the puck up. But we're finding that it's not. It's not. It's actually the kids who are just trying to get rid of it and just stops the game altogether, brings it back down the ice, and
There's that breaks up the flow. If anything, it's just like in college football, which I never understood. Darren, you can talk to this. Is that in college football, you make a touchdown, and wherever you score from, right, that's where the kick is from, sideways.
That hash,
So-
the wide hash mark.
Yeah, so like in hockey, you're straight under the goalie. If you're shooting from the side, you have a decreased angle. So now these college kids have a hard angle to shoot at. They're in college.
It's much
Why
harder to
shouldn't
kick a
the
field goal.
pros be the ones that have to hit the smaller
from
angle?
the hash marks.
Yeah, I think the pros should be that way. College right down the middle, just like college has the aluminum bats, so they can hit homers easier. And the kids now, that's backwards too. The pros should have icing on penalty kills to up the scoring, and the kids just let them ice it.
That's probably coming with the way they're moving everything to get higher scores.
I don't understand
thinks
why.
that NHL wants that.
It's stupid
Well,
though. They need to leave the game alone. It's like the perfect sport.
But that's Bettman's whole deal. He's a money man, and that's
Oh,
what he
Batman,
wants.
don't get me started on that.
Oh, here we go.
Big Batman fan, huh?
Our Canadian friend,
So here's the story.
co-owner.
Batman came into the NHL in 1993.
Yes.
And 1993 is a very bad memory for Toronto Maple Leaf fans. That's the year that we went to the semifinals and basically got screwed. Game 6 against the LA Kings. They didn't call a penalty on Gretzky. The Kings come back to win the game. The Leafs had them down. They come back to win, and they win in Game 7, and the Leafs are done. And then, make things worse, the hated Montreal Canadiens win the Stanley Cup. So, 93 is a very bad memory.
Was
for
that
us.
kosher salt they poured on that? Or was it
And what other
salt.
job does a man have a job for? What, 25 years? He's like the commissioner.
And he's not going anywhere fast.
No, he's not.
You know,
They love him.
There's a reason he gets booed every time they mention his name.
Anything with hockey just brought in as a money man because he ran the NBA.
yeah. Now he's gonna bring in another. It looks like another expansion team.
Seattle?
Yeah, $400 or $500 million.
Is that where it's gonna go?
So what do you think?
They're gonna apply.
See, do you think Seattle or Houston? Those are the two ones that whisper.
I think Seattle. I don't know.
That's what they're talking.
Because you need a team in the West.
Oh, Dallas does a whole lot of flying. They need a rivalry team.
Yeah, Dallas. Yeah, it's true. It's a big state. It's
Yep.
a big hockey market.
That's what I
That's
heard.
going back to an older Canadian team like Quebec, or
But I think you need a team in the West to make things even.
was it?
It's
Well, where's Vegas at now? West? West. And would it be the East because we're at 31?
You're correct. Actually, you are correct. They do need a team in the East.
Yes.
But Quebec, I don't know. There's rumors your guy, Patrick Roy, is looking for a team.
So why did he leave Colorado?
I've never understood. I don't want to know because Wa's my favorite player, so I don't want to. I have him sit
get it.
here up here. I don't want to hear why. I don't want to know why.
I think it's because it was like the guy. What was the guy for Chicago? That was coaching San Francisco.
San Francisco?
Yeah, he was a linebacker.
Oh,
Oh, Ditka?
No.
No, not Ditka.
I know who you mean.
Lot.
No.
No, I know who you mean.
Okay.
Middle linebacker with the
Glasses.
Mike
Singletary.
Singletary.
He was over there for a year, and he started benching fools, and they didn't want to do what he wanted. It's like, so they, the upper office said get out or
I don't
conform.
think
Waugh seems to
bench
me that way.
Players.
No, but if he wasn't allowed to run the team the way he wanted to,
Well, then again, true. But him and Sackett go way back. So. I don't
Yeah,
know
but
where
then again-
but then there's higher ups as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it could be a
Sackett
lot.
chance could be tight. Look what happened when they scored 7 goals on him. He walked up, we're never playing here again. Bye.
Oh, very true.
So
Playing in the alumni game this year, isn't he?
Well, he played 2 years ago, wanted, and then I was there for that. And that was outstanding.
That
But
was
yeah,
awesome.
he very
That
well.
was good, right? You had some good photos from
oh
him.
my
I love
gosh.
him. That was great.
And now you're a proud owner of a Waugh sweater.
I am. That's right. A Canadians one, unfortunately, but still,
It's a nice
we'll go
one.
throwback. It is a very nice one. It's still sitting in my room. I don't know what I'm going to do with
Shadow
it
box
just yet. Yeah, but shadow box. I got 7 jerseys there on the shadow
Shout out
box,
to Killer
so.
Kaminsky for making that happen.
Oh yes,
Yep.
He had that at the golf tournament. Where,
that's right.
I outbid it just by. All I had to do was bid $1 more. I'm like, no, that's all
It
right.
was actually my brother-in-law, whose wife is from Montreal, and he really wanted it. They went back and forth, but Allah got it. It was
I was gonna bid on it, being a goalie. And then last time we got into a bidding war over cigars, it got stupid. So I'm like, okay, that's enough.
I thought about when it went to what, $4.50. I don't know what
Yeah.
I paid for it, but it was like $4.50, and I went to one, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I was hoping he would bid. All he bids like $10 more. I would over it. But yeah, my wife wasn't. She didn't understand. We'll just say that. She wasn't too clear exactly what
A
happened.
couple of overtime weeks there.
So, Will, who's your favorite hockey player of all time?
Oh jeez.
I couldn't really say it. I watched so many.
Okay, then break defenseman. Go by
As a
position.
Sharks fan, wouldn't it be like a Marlowe or a...
No, he goes way
Because
back.
he's with you guys.
He's
now.
So many, I don't know. We had so many come through the
You had some
Sharks.
really good players with him.
Over the years, we had so many that came through from Gretzky's Oilers to LA that came back through us. Mike Ricci and some of those guys all came through.
Who we met again.
Yeah.
Some
Can't
players
wait
we
for
never thought we'd have saw or seen come through, and we had them at their, and they were all great. Jeremy Rowe was always one of my favorite players.
I like JR.
Still a clown.
He is. He's a
Somebody
great guy.
either love him or hate him, and I've always loved
You
him.
gotta love him, especially when him and Waugh was going back and forth.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
That's a good question. We should go around to see who's our favorite player.
All right, let's go by position.
Okay.
All right, so defenseman, who's your favorite defenseman?
At the moment, probably Burns.
All time. That you've seen play. So you can't pull out the toe blades,
Well, yeah, I've never seen Bobby Orr play. I'm
So you
a
can't
little
say
too
Bobby
young
Orr.
for him, but I've heard he's the greatest player.
That's people tell
It's
me.
Gretzky, but people say it's Bobby Orr.
That's a tough call.
Mine's gonna be Ranger loaded. One of the reasons that Jake wore 5 and then 3, and why Lauren wore 3 was because my favorite defenseman of all time was Barry Beck. Shoot the puck, Barry, and he could fight. Oh, no helmet, and he'd come off the bench for brawls.
I don't know, I got 2.
I know one. Doubts.
That's not the best.
Oh, you're talking defenseman. Sorry.
Defenseman, I gotta go with Ray Bork.
Oh, great choice.
Just because he was just awesome, a good captain, etc. And Nick Lindstrom. Nick Lindstrom.
Why him?
He played for my Red Wings, number 1. And he was like Ray Bork.
Right.
Wasn't one of these, outlandish fighters, nothing else. He got the job done. He got the job done for a very long time. And I don't know. I just from that era in the 90s, I think that's so far it's been the best hockey I think era for us, for our age. Maybe the current era is going to be more with all these new kids. So that's why I like Nicky and Ray Bork.
I think my defenseman would have to probably be that I've seen play in some time. I think it's Scott Stevens.
He was so good.
I just
Now, is he a devil to you or is he a capital?
he's a devil.
Devil.
He's a devil.
Devil.
And when he put down Korea, I was like, oh, there's a season ender right there, career ender.
And Lindros.
Lindros. But Lindros, I think his head was off.
No, dude, are you kidding? He had such a soft, they hit
Yeah.
the pepper from him.
Yeah.
They were afraid he'd sneeze and knock himself out.
But I just loved it. I hated him when he played Colorado. But yeah, Scott Stevens that guy played with heart like no other.
There was one. I saw an interview with him, and they're talking about the hit on Correa, the hit on Lindros, and just that. He goes, look, I never try to hurt these guys. He goes, my job is through the neutral zone. You come through there. He goes, I gotta stop you. He goes, I'm doing my job. He was like, pick your head up. He goes, of course not. I don't want to end anybody's career. He goes, who does?
Right.
And you can tell it wasn't like he wasn't just talking smack. He goes, but, and then he just looks down. And he's like, you gotta look up. You got it.
And we're watching a highlight of Kalaw's Avalanche taking on the Penguins.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
nice and very
shot.
Hey, your Avalanche have a nice comeback year from last year.
Well, they can win 2 games and have a great comeback.
I was gonna say.
So, all they had to do is
There we go.
Oh, nice screen, eh?
The screen.
Right in the corner.
pick top corner.
Right. Favorite center. Now, I'm not saying it has to be the best center. Your favorite center to watch
Current or old?
in your lifetime.
Well, I grew up with Wayne Gretzky, and there's nobody that compares to that. Like, he just did things that were unbelievable. Like a lot of the kids these days, I don't think they realize what kind of a player he was. He would make plays that would just blow you away. It was just unbelievable.
Didn't necessarily have to be scoring.
Yeah.
He could do anything.
Like
He had more assists than goals, right?
he had more assists than anybody has points.
The thing that was remarkable about him
NHL history.
is that he wasn't flashy. He just got it done.
Yeah.
There was nothing like Lemieux, was in the same era. I think was a better skater, and even to Gretzky's admission, he said he's a better skater than I am, a better stick. They're different players, but I don't know. I like Lemieux but Gretzky. You can't deny the prowess what he did.
And the records that he has,
Yeah.
like there's some records that I don't know if they're ever going to break, like 50 goals in 39 games. Like that's just.
Well, one, it was funny when Matthews first he got the 4
the
goals,
first goal. Oh,
and he was up there. They showed Gretzky. He would he goes, I didn't even do that.
It's just a different level.
How about you guys? Favorite center you watched growing up? Or even now?
Oh man. I did get to watch Gretzky play, but barring Gretzky, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Mew.
I don't.
Got 2. I go with that
I mean, if I had to go with
and Eiserman.
Flash, it would my 3. Well, top 2 is Eiserman and Sakic.
Yeah.
Eiserman does not get enough love.
Eiserman is phenomenal.
He does not get enough love.
Play Sakic. He's an abs.
See,
So
but the thing is, they're both classy guys, right?
they were. I mean,
Both of
Sakic's a
them.
very quiet captain, very quiet kind of guy. Even when I met him, he was just like, he was just really humble. He wasn't boisterous at all.
And
He
both
just-
guys that very rarely spent their whole career with one organization.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't see that anymore.
And the best thing, I still like, goosebumps already just thinking about it, is when he won the cup with Bork.
Yep.
Grabbed it and just gave it right to him.
Yep.
Like that's just goosebumps. Every time I see that or even talk about it, it's just talk about class.
How about you, Will?
Stevie Y is a pretty good choice.
He's so
So much
Entire
class.
career.
Look what he's done with his team now as a general manager. None of the players
got a
want
good
to
chance
leave.
to win
They
the
all
cup
return.
now.
Yep. None
Tampa
of those
Bay.
guys wanted to jump ship. They all stay with him.
He's your prototypical centerman and captain.
Right.
I mean, honestly, if you want to aspire to be either or, that's who you should look for.
Well, that's why,
made captain his second year or something. Like right after his first season. He was,
Yeah.
for me, obviously Gretzky's Gretzky, so it's
But
like
I know you have someone
it
else.
has to be for me. It has to be Messier.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't won a cup in 54 years, and you're like, we're gonna win tonight, and you go out and
I
score 3
guarantee
goals.
it.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And he's
That
just a
was-
leader. 6 Stanley Cups.
And not just 6 Stanley Cups, but he was a factor on every single one.
That's
Yes.
right. Yep. And he'd drop the gloves if he needed to be. He was a leader. Ty Domi speaks handsomely of him
Yes.
to make him into a better player.
He told that Ty Domi,
Yep.
like when he came into the league and was just fighting and everything, hey, calm down, like,
Yep.
settle down.
Yep.
And that was pretty, and that's coming from another fighter, right? Because back
That's right.
then,
Messier would fight.
Messier was a big fighter, and as his career, got into later years, he wasn't quite as aggressive, but he sure as hell was a good scorer and leader.
Now, your favorite goalie, probably Rob with you, right?
Okay, that goes without saying. It's Swamp, but if I had to choose another player, because we can't, if I don't choose Gretzky, then if I had to choose another, the number 1 goalie is from the Devils.
Brodeur.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's who I'd have to. I wish that if if I had to choose a backup to Long,
Yeah.
Brodeur. We're going an undefeated.
You know,
season.
you're probably going undefeated.
So,
Although I don't know, that's a lot of testosterone in
That is
on
absolutely,
one.
yeah.
You got Brodeur who played
locker
what
room.
70 games out of 75 or
It's
something.
amazing.
Jesus.
And now the goaltending position changed so much. Now it's like you're 6'5" and you cover the net.
Well, you were saying, right,
Yeah.
that the average NHL is how tall?
Well, you can't be a goalie unless you're at least 6'1".
Yeah.
Back then we had guys like 5'9".
well, you look at Mike Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Victor
He was
a
tiny.
short guy, yeah.
Darren Pang, I think, is 5'8".
Maybe.
On a good day.
You know.
Oh, I think he's shorter
On
than that.
on skates he is.
Yeah, I stood next to him in L.A. and I don't
He's little.
think he's 5'8".
I think my guy has to be, other than the Leafs that I've seen a lot of good goalies, Dominic Hasek.
Yes.
Probably
He was
the most
very good.
Unconventional goalie.
Yes.
He was just
Very, very good.
unbelievable.
There has to be a lot.
You didn't go with Potvin?
Potvin is
Oh,
a
yeah.
The Leafs? Come
good
on,
one.
you?
Potman, Belfour, we had a lot of good goalies.
No, I'd say
Cujo,
Potvin.
Curtis Joseph.
Cujo and Potvin actually had very similar styles with their reaction goals. They sat deep in their net
Right.
and just go ahead and shoot, and they just amazingly moved. quick
Hasek
enough.
used to do just some weird things, like unbelievable.
Have you seen that?
He's
You
better
know,
without a stick.
you know who Pavel Barber is?
Yes.
Yes.
So he did a video on goaltending, and he's just goofing off, obviously. And he goes, okay, so then for Dominic Hasek, he goes, he had like an unconventional style. He goes, yeah, just get rid of the stick. You don't need that. He's like, here, just throw it behind you. It was so funny. He goes, then you just lay down on your back. You roll over. It was, if you haven't seen it, look it up. It's pretty funny. But it's very true, too.
Will, how about you?
That goes through like Curtis Joseph, maybe
Cujo.
Ron Hextall.
Hexy, yeah.
That was the third defenseman on that line.
I
So
always loved Kelly Rudy, even when I hated the Kings. How he'd come out and lead that team on warm-ups in front of everybody at full speed.
He was the backup goaltender on the '94 Rangers championship.
I've
Great
never
goal.
liked Kelly Rudy.
Yeah.
You got his pants.
And I got his pants.
You have his pants.
My first set of goalie pads, the pants that I bought, they were like, legit, I guess. Where I got them from Icelandia, and they were pro stock. They had the little LA emblem on them. I guess he had gained weight or lost weight, I don't know, but he didn't want them. He couldn't wear them, so they're brand new, and that's what I wore. I love those pants, those CCMs, but never liked Rudy. It's the Kings on one side, not a fan of the Kings.
Eddie Belfour was exciting.
Oh, he's
Yeah, he was a hot hit too.
Yeah, Famer. Sharks, after Urbe got hurt, we had a bunch come through that trickled through, It just kept coming. And
We
Urbe
had a
was
Fresno
great
Falcon
goalie.
come through the Sharks. Friesen.
Oh, yeah. He played for the Falcons? Oh, really?
yeah. Did he play? He backed up, right? When
He played, I think, 2 games with the Falcons. I'm like, holy crap, this kid is good. He came in like it was a Friday game, and then Saturday gone. He just got called up. He never came back.
So what other? When we look at wingers now?
Well, my goalies.
Oh, goal! You didn't do your sorry.
Obviously, people think I'll say Hextall, and he's a great legend with the Rangers, and Richter, of course, and even Van Beesbrook.
Beezer, yep. I
Beezer.
like Beezer.
But I would have to say, believe it or not, for me was John Davidson, who started with the Blues. He was the key person on the Rangers' run in '79 to the finals. He just stopped everything.
So not Billy Smith.
God no, not Billy Smith. But I would say, and don't get upset. I would say, other than that, was Ken Dryden with the Canadians. The guy was just so cerebral. He knew angles.
Wait a minute, you saw him play?
Oh yeah.
Dude, you are old.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. He beat my Rangers in '79.
Well, he saw Jacques Plante play too, I think.
Oh yeah, there you go. Before the masks.
Yes.
I gotta go with Brodeur. Brodeur is just
You can't go wrong there.
No.
solid. And I like Beezer. Beezer I like because he was a little goalie and played huge when he was with Florida. He played with New York. But the part I loved is that he was so tiny, but he was immaculate in his angles. He had to be.
He had to be, yep.
And when they started, when Bettman's like, we need to make the goalie's pad smaller, no bigger than 12 inches, and yada yada yada. And his were the first ones they measured, and they were 11 inches. They just looked big because he's so little.
Right.
And he'd never, okay, well now we have to measure him after the game.
It's amazing
Didn't
when
matter.
when you see highlights from the 80s now, how small the
Yeah.
pads are.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable.
Yeah, but the guy's huge. You remember Waugh when he was playing? He had Heaton was the chest protector that had wings up on the shoulders. So Waugh had these big old cheater blockers on the shoulders. It came up like this here.
Yes.
And then he had his jersey was huge. It was like a drape. And so everything was shot up under the armpit and just got draped and caught in the drape.
Well, that's like when college football in the mid '70s, and they had those stupid tearaway jerseys.
Oh yes.
That was terrible. I mean, come on. What do you do?
Ended up with half.
Right.
Yes.
Half
jerseys.
Oh yeah, left with your pads.
So, wingers.
Our boy from Chicago is pretty exciting. Our little American kid there.
Kane?
Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane. I love that kid.
Very, very good.
Dolan, there's a couple kids on our team like Jacob Gray with the feet strength, the leg strength. I tell him if you study Ulf Dolan, how he can kill time on the boards and just trap a puck and just keep it there for like 2 minutes of a penalty, and they just beat and kick on him. He was exciting to watch, but. Patrick Kane's big run, we were talking earlier, how Gretzky did that 50 goals in 30 games. That was the biggest thing to hit was Patrick Kane's run. It was like 20 goals or 20 games.
Oh, yeah.
They were just like, didn't even come close, but it was exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
What'd you say? Who'd you say?
Mine is no doubt he's nobody else would say him, but I grew up idolizing this guy, Rick Vive, played for the Leafs. He was 3 years in a row, 50-goal season. I just grew up, he was my idol, not just hockey idol, but just my idol. And the team was so bad back in the day when I was watching them, but he was just one guy that, he had that shot. Mike Bossy also had this. You don't see this anymore. They come down the right wing, blast it in. You never see that goal anymore because the way the goalies are and the angles are, that shot never goes in. But he used to come, LaFleur used to do this too. Come down the right wing, blast the slap shot over the shoulder. Great. That's my guy, Rick Vive, number 22, Toronto Maple Leafs. Still holds the record for most goals by a Leaf, 54.
That's Mike Gartner's number 2, right?
Well, since we got to stay with our own teams,
It just turns out that way.
Peter Forsberg. I loved him with Colorado. I still liked him when he went back to Philadelphia. I would actually watch the Flyers games just to watch him play.
It's a shame his career
It was just because of his foot injuries, and he tried to make a comeback. When you're out the season because you're then you went out and had surgery, and he comes back in the playoffs, and he leads the points in playoffs.
It's amazing.
And then they still get knocked out, and you still lead the points in playoffs. There's something spectacular.
Wasn't that a story when he was young and he came home and he was
Yes.
crying in juniors?
Yeah, and they asked him to go.
What was the score?
What happened? It was 8-7. He goes. Dad asked him, "Well, how many goals did you score?" He goes, 7. So, but yeah, that was a great story.
Exciting player to watch.
Yeah, I love watching him. I mean, he made plays happen from behind the net with Haydu. He would go one way but pass it around the net the other way, and the goalie would cheat over to him. And next thing you know, he's puck's behind in the net already.
And he
so.
played D too. That's what I like
he
about
came
Forsberg.
back, yeah.
He wasn't just just let me go score a little celly here and go back in line. He played defense.
And I did get to meet him, so a nice guy.
That's always a plus.
Always a plus.
I don't know. I gotta go with the wings are all good. So I'm gonna venture. I'm gonna say then and even still playing Yager.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's great.
You can't deny it.
He's just a freak of nature.
He is amazing.
I would have to say Yager as well. But again, showing my age, and you'll be shocked I say this, I always had an affinity for Clark Gillies because he was not a dirty player.
Yeah.
He could score, he was big, he could fight, that old school, it took a truck to move him out from front of the net, but Yager, I'd say, who's probably played for every team.
Yeah, he's played for a lot of
What
them.
is that, 9?
Yeah.
9
No,
games now?
he's up to 11, isn't he?
Is it 11?
He's a lot.
You know who else though? I gotta say, a person that I've seen, pro and minor, etc., that handle the puck better than anybody else on the boards. Can't get the puck away from him. Glenn Gulletson for the Falcons. That guy got the puck in the corners, and he just danced around. He's a little guy, not very big, but you could not get the puck out of him. And stick handling on the boards, that'd be Glenn Gulleton.
Segue into that is he's now coaching
Yes.
Calgary Flames.
Calgary Flames.
who Yager is playing for.
That's right.
So
Full circle.
full circle.
Yes.
Here's an interesting thing. Jagger played with Keith Kachuk, and now he's playing with
With his son.
Oh yeah. That was was it him that showed him? And when his son scored, he's up in the stands crying. Yeah. I have a question about that. Every time they show the parents, right? They're like up in the cheap seats. They're always up like in the rafters watching.
You sure
the
it's
game.
there, not in a box?
No, it's in the cheap seats. Like even Matthews.
Yeah.
Oh, the one the parents were in there. Yes,
Yeah, and even and Kachuk too. He wasn't in a box. He was just out there. He's all whining and crying. You know, like, that's pretty awesome though to see your kid be there.
So the NHL is now 100 years old. In a weird way, it kind of feels like it's older than that, doesn't it? Because it's so steep in tradition.
A lot of tradition in it.
And sportsmanship.
And yeah, I mean that's so important.
It's such a rough sport when people look at it and say, "Oh, hockey is so violent, so this." But of all the sports, other than maybe golf, if you want to call that a sport, and even in baseball that has traditions or whatever, and sportsmanship, I think it ranks the best. Because you sit there and you have it out with the team, you fight, and at the end you're shaking hands, and you appreciate how good they are. You don't see stupid celebrations, which I hope to God they don't ever go to that.
Right.
I agree.
Unlike football where now they're allowing it, and they have these choreographed stupid dances. It's like, come on. You're getting paid to do a job. Go do your job. There's no need.
Taunting is not allowed. I know you're a Ranger fan, but there was a guy, Sean Avery, that was just like.
Some people like that guy, and I can't stand him.
I don't know.
I don't like
As
him.
a Ranger fan, what do you think of Sean Avery's antics?
You don't like it.
Yeah.
And now it's funny. I'll say I didn't like it because he was a hockey player. They were funny quotes.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
But I didn't like his antics on the ice. No. It just didn't belong there.
I want to read his book though. Apparently, he just wrote a book, and I'm interested to read it.
He's a lot like Jose Canseco,
Yeah.
right?
He's a teller.
He's a tello, So
He's disgruntled.
yes.
You know who was good for Rangers that was stirring up problems? Issa Tikkanen.
Well, but
He was all over.
he was all everybody
No, but
loved
they
him.
pulled- no, but
Who's
they-
going to be my pick?
Yeah. That's a player you'd love to hate, right?
Yes, it's
And
always on your
they
team.
pulled him in for the playoffs.
Yes.
I can't remember who they traded. They traded for him. Like, why would they trade for him? Like, what? And there's a reason. He's been in enough playoffs. And the guy is just, he said they're throwing kisses at people. Oh my God.
Play for the Oilers, play for the Rangers.
Yeah.
I was listening to a Mark Messier interview just last week. They interviewed him because a New York sports announcer, Mike Francesa, was leaving the radio after 30 years. And he says, we had 109 points that year. We won President's Club, and at the trading deadline, we brought in McTavish, Glenn Anderson, and S.A. Tikkanen.
Forget it.
He goes, the strong just got stronger.
How about
These guys know every trick in the book.
Yep. How about the most hated player? Who's your favorite bad guy or favorite hated player?
He knows mine. He mentioned him. Billy Smith.
Oh, Billy Smith. Yeah.
Oh, horror show.
Most hated. Wow. Who do I hate the most?
No.
Oh.
Who's your favorite most hated player? Like other teams couldn't stand him. I'll tell you what the line that I'm thinking. For me, Claude Lemieux.
I was going to say Claude Lemieux.
Claude Lemieux.
Well, that's going to be a Red Wings Avalanche all day long.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, they had him and McCarty. Then some guy in Canada did an interview with both. It's on YouTube. And it's the first time they'd seen each other since the turtling incident.
Right.
And Claude is actually very well spoken. And when he won with the Devils, and they won the cup, and he got the MVP, and he's sitting there crying like a baby. And he says, when the most hated hockey player in hockey, he goes, wins this. He goes, that means something.
Right.
And so, but that's who I would say. So that's kind of along the lines.
Who was the Canucks guy that ended the Avalanche? Todd Bertuzzi.
Oh, yeah.
I think he got a bad rap over that hit. And was it a sucker punch? Absolutely. But I don't believe him hitting him and him knocking him out was the cause of his career. I believe it was our own player, Avalanche player, who jumped on top of him that caused the injury, in my opinion.
Donald Brashear was a different incident.
Yeah, no,
That
but
was,
Yeah,
I forget. I don't remember who it was that jumped on top of Todd Bertuzzi. But the Avalanche player was already knocked out.
There was a lot of history there. They had a huge brawl.
Yeah, well, it was from the game before that
Right.
they played.
Yeah.
And I think he got a raw deal.
Oh, he scored again.
As far as that goes, yes, I saw that. It was nice, by the way, right here.
And that was in the courts for like 10 years, I think.
Yes.
That Bertuzzi.
And Bertuzzi apologized immediately over it, and
He was crying, wasn't he, in the interview?
I don't remember if he was crying or not, but
thought
I know he was. What? He gets 2? He got 2.
Yeah, that's a second goal.
Oh, yep.
Trickling still counts.
Tyson Berry. But I think as a hated player, if I had to go with that, I think he was still a great player in my opinion. And I think he just got a raw deal. I think the sucker punches would hit him in. I don't think.
Claude Lemieux is the ultimate.
Yes.
So who's your number one enemy?
Enemy as me hating them?
Yeah.
No, that you liked.
That I like or that I hate?
Like, I like Claude Lemieux. He was, I mean, just the one, I can't remember what it was. It was actually, they were showing it the other day. Somebody got hit into the bench and he's like face down. You see Claude's on the bench and he just like uppercuts him from the bench. Like, I don't know.
Mine is
hated
a team.
the entire team.
Unfortunately, you grow up and
No, it makes sense. And maybe Islanders.
as much as I like to cheer for Carey Price and as much as I respect him, I just don't like him.
He's
But
a
as soon
good
as he
goalie,
gets
though.
traded, I think I'm going to be.
He's underrated, I think.
Yes,
as a
he's
goaltender.
underrated.
Carey Price is
He might be
damn
the
good.
best goalie right now in the NHL. He's one of the best.
I'd say it's top 5.
I think
Easy.
him and Crawford. I think Crawford's a
Maybe
good
Bob
goalie too.
Rofsky, Crawford, Quick. I don't know. Pecorine. There's a lot of good.
Like your choice.
What's that?
So how about you, Will?
Claude Lemieux.
Who's your most hated player?
That's not necessarily good.
No, not a good one. Just a guy you hated watching play, maybe because he was too damn good.
Just a chirper that got everybody just
Yeah.
like, I hate that guy. Like, just that guy. Oh,
Well, I'll give you another one in a minute that you guys might not know.
Domi was there, probably
tell me,
the rink rat.
Flurry, Theo.
Theo was just a pest.
I like Theo.
Man. He was always around.
I liked him.
It was probably just because he was small and he was such
Oh,
a
yeah.
pest. You just couldn't stop him half the time.
Well, that's the way. I mean, he wasn't, and he ended up being a Ranger for a couple of minutes. But I felt that way about Marcel Dion. You know, that guy, he'd be silent the whole game, and he'd go get a soda. He had 2 goals
Small guy.
for the Kings. Yes, out of nowhere. You know who was that way too was Tim Kerr
Tim Kerr.
with the Flyers.
He used to score all those garbage goals.
Oh, he would one time. I think and Kala was telling me this. He had a lounge chair in front of the net. he would just sit in front of the net. You know, but there was a guy, defenseman, underrated. He was a poor man Scott Stevens before Scott Stevens. Number 5 on the Capitals, Rod Langway.
Oh, Rod Langway was a great player.
I hated him because he was so damn good. That's your point.
Yeah.
You know?
Killer might have played with Rod Langway. He might have been during those years.
That'd be good questions for Killer for
Yeah.
him when we get him on.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him,
Yeah.
you know, about that. And, go one down, maybe go do another 10 minutes or so. But, so, anything else? I mean,
How about the
Enforcer, enforcer we'll call him.
enforcer? Your favorite enforcer? Mine has to be Bob Probst.
There you go.
You know, the guy was a legend. You know, and
Yeah.
yes.
tough life, unfortunately, had a lot of drug problems, died very young, and, but he was the toughest of the tough.
So that's another thing with the drugs, because a lot of that's from the fighting, right? Is that's what I've heard that a lot of these guys that are the fighters, and you meet them otherwise, they're not.
No.
You know, they're like the nicest guys.
They have a job to do on the ice, and
Right,
that's it.
and that's an interview that I'd seen. I can't recall who it was, and that's what we're talking about. Like, oh, I hate fighting, but that's my job. That's what I got to
And
go
unfortunately, a
do.
lot of these guys had problems. A lot of them died young,
Sorry, bro.
and a lot of suicide issues. And it's a tough position because you're preparing for the game, and you know that day,
Yeah.
your job is to go and beat the crap out of someone.
Well, one,
And you gotta beat the crap out of the guy that's gonna do the same thing you do.
Right.
So
that, you know, you see that, and you're like, well, then, but that's your job. it never really kind of hit home until I was talking to actually one of the kids that used to play junior in the Junior Falcons, Dave Garcia. You may know him.
Yeah.
we were right here. We were talking, having a cigar, and we were talking about that. And he brought up a point that I was like, oh wow, that's kind of like you say, inside baseball, you know. He says that they're in the locker room when he was playing major juniors or D3 or anyway. And he said it was when he was playing juniors in Canada. He says that they're sitting there, they're looking through the score sheet, you know, all the forwards and saying, oh, he's got 5 goals. Oh, he's 2 goals ahead of me. I got to get him. Oh, I got to do this. He goes, meanwhile, I'm sitting there looking at who's got the most penalty minutes, and it's like, oh shit, I got to go with that guy. And he's like 6'4", man, you know. And it's like I never thought about that, you know. It's like these poor guys that they don't want to fight, but they got to go and they got to go with the biggest guy or the guy who's just going to go. That kind of sucks. I mean, I don't mind. Somebody, you know, spears you or whatever, all right, it's on. But to go into the game, you don't go into the game knowing that you're going to get into a fight. Those guys do, whether they want to or not. That's their gig. It's like it's pretty.
First year of the Sharks, McSorley came for LA. The first time they were there, Link Gates was hired as our enforcer. The puck drops 10 seconds in. Yard sale, they're beating each other. Puck's at the other end of the ice. The next time the Kings come, the game doesn't even start. They line up. It's a yard sale, and the referees are looking like the clock hasn't moved. We haven't. And poor Link Gates was just getting pummeled, and you're just going, man. And then he got taken out early in a car accident. The game never returned, but man,
who'd you pick?
He was always great.
For my most hated player,
Goon.
My favorite goon, or
Both. Give us both.
okay. So I'll go with my favorite goon or enforcer, however you want to look at it. Then I'll tell you my most hated player.
That'd be the Goon.
No, actually, he's not a goon. He's actually a very good. I don't even give him that content so much. My favorite enforcer is the Sheriff, Scott Parker. I love watching him play when he was with the Sharks, when he was with Colorado. I don't know, I just like watching him. When he was on the ice, people stayed away.
Right.
You know, and when he fought. And he lost big.
Right.
But when he won, I mean, it was a good win. You know, but I've always liked him. And it sucks that his career was very short-lived. I thought he was a pretty decent player. But my most hated player is Phil Kessel. I just cannot stand that guy. I cannot stand that guy. If he was to come to the Avalanche, I would hate him even more. Because I would sit there and I'd be like, God, I don't want to root for you at all. Period.
So he got traded to the Leafs from Boston, and we were all excited. And you know, we're getting this great guy, and he's going to score a ton of goals. And he had a great 3 years for us. And then when things went south, he just dogged it. Like you said,
There's no excuse for dogging.
You know, and it was just terrible to watch. Like, I don't get Phil Kessel. He can score goals. He's doing okay, but
he's like stupid fast
you
too.
know.
That guy eats hot dogs. That guy's a hot dog. That's
The
all.
bad thing is the guy
hate that guy.
is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, but only because of the teams he's played, not because of him. I just hate him. God, and I think it has to go back with the fight with him and John Scott.
Oh yeah.
John Scott, he calls out John Scott. In my opinion, he calls out John Scott. Whoever came to back him up went to fight Scott, and Kessel was whacking John Scott in the back of the leg with his stick.
Like he literally chomped him.
And he just wailing on him. And I'm like, you're the biggest bitch in the league. I just hate that guy.
I agree.
Sorry, Chef.
Yeah,
Is that his favorite player?
No, just Penguins.
my favorite goon I'll talk about, and then well, there's really two. One, everybody talks about McSorley with Edmonton, but before McSorley was Dave Semenko.
Oh yeah.
Dave Cementhead, right?
Yep.
So,
He was great.
so the thing I love most about Dave Semenko, and it's a different game, and you know whatever, but the Islanders are on this great run, and the Rangers had some great teams. They just couldn't beat the Islanders, and the Islanders won those 4 championships in a row, and you know they deserved it. And then early in the series against Edmonton, really, and the home of the, they dropped the puck. Semenko runs Billy Smith. Just runs him. And Edmonton just took that series. He ran him and ran Dennis Potvin. And, and what I liked best about that was it was a game plan. And it was, we are going to show no respect to your best players. And we're not going to take out the Mike Bossy pretty boys, who could score. We're going to take out your tough guys. And that's what they did, and it worked. The other one is, I'd love for you guys probably don't know him. Before Ty Domi, he was smaller, but he was an enforcer, was a guy named George McPhee. George McPhee was probably 5'5". If he wore stilts, he probably couldn't get on rides at Disney. I mean, he's that small. And that small and skinny, I mean, he could have choked on a Slim Jim.
Is it the same George McPhee that's the GM route, or no?
I believe it is.
He's the GM of the Knights.
Yes, and he was the best fighter. He would drop with anybody and win. And he had the quickest 2 hands I've ever seen. You couldn't even see the fist fly. They were amazing.
Nice.
So that was always fun. He didn't last too long. But
do they ever?
No, but and then he was replaced by Ty Domi. So
Somebody just a little bit taller.
yes, and a little more bruising. I think they had a cup of coffee together, on the Rangers. So I got to show you some of those guys. So Google George McPhee Rangers, and you'll like what you see. He fights. Oh, he's jumping up to fight these guys.
Oh my gosh.
Now
So-
that position is gone.
Yes.
Basically, yeah. But you
So
still
then-
have to have somebody out there that's gonna.
But now they can actually play and they can
Right.
score.
Right.
Yeah, but so that brings up another question. Fights. Keep them or get rid of them?
You gotta keep them. It's a self-regulating sport.
I think so too.
I agree. I absolutely
100%.
There you go.
Absolutely.
I don't like those premeditated. Let's drop the glove.
Right.
Like
The one I need this to stay on the team.
But remember
Yeah.
the first round of the playoffs, it was always fight night the first game. They would set tones and,
Yeah.
But no, I get it.
I think, like you said, it's self-regulating. You're not going to have somebody, and I always use like in football, the Bears, what's his name, the quarterback,
Jim McMahon.
McMahon.
McMahon. His career got ended by a late hit. The guy was just pissed off, picked him up, slammed him
Yeah,
up his
threw him down
collarbone,
against
and
Green
done.
Bay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, there's no repercussions to that. Oh, you're suspended, but you ruined somebody's career. So at least in hockey, you're going to catch a beating.
Yeah.
And so I think that because of that kind of regulates, like, okay, we're not going to do this. And then again, you have a higher level of respect, I think, in hockey. You're not going to go over the little guy. The little guy's flashy, he beats you. You're going to hook him. Okay, that's one thing. You're not going to plow him. And if you do, well, then you're going to get beat.
What I don't like about the fights nowadays is I think there is a place in hockey for fighting. What I don't like is when there's a clean, open ice,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden the
Yes.
fight stops.
Yes.
The fight.
Hit.
It's a legal hit.
Yeah, they're wimping out the sport
Yeah.
to say,
Those
Nicely.
I don't think they need that. But if you're gonna board somebody, then then
Yeah.
you're gonna get hit. But if it's
You can run the goalie.
right, if you run the goalie or
that's another thing, though. I think that, how they have the trapezoid? And, like, Hextall was famous for this. I mean, he plowed, Chelios. Was it Chelios that he plowed against the boards?
When the guy ran away?
Did they have a fight?
No, that's another one, though.
No, they had it out.
Didn't he fight Chelios?
Oh, you fought everybody.
Yeah.
No, but, like, if the goalie comes out, if he's behind the net playing the puck, okay. But if he comes out to play the puck ahead of the goal, I say he's another player. You should be able to run him, and not
I
the
think
goalie.
behind the net. I think behind the net, if he's trapping the puck, he's a player. If he's in front and he's coming out to play the puck, then no. If he's within reason of the crease, then you got to give him his space.
No, I
make
agree. I agree. But they should have like a 3-point line ahead of the crease. If he comes out of that to play it, hey, it's your open game. Because look at Hextall. He went to the boards, never went for the puck.
But
Just
then you get
plowed
then
him.
you get the argument of like, well, then now you limit your goalies from coming out to cut the angle down.
How far are you going to go out to the face-off circle?
They come out pretty far too. I mean, if the guy's coming down the boards and he wants to come and he's got backup on the backside.
Richter came out.
A lot of them can still come out.
Yeah.
But if you're behind the net and you're playing the puck and you're blocking the puck, I think you can get ran just as easy as anybody else.
Hey, listen, I'm changing sports for a second, but I spot on what you said about self-regulating the game. Tom Seaver, probably my favorite athlete of anything, he wails on this all the time to this day. He said in baseball, he said, when that guy was leaning over the plate, that's my plate.
Yeah.
I'm going to brush you back.
Absolutely.
No more. That's how the game regulates
Well,
itself.
same like even with if the catcher is blocking home plate.
Yeah, but you can't do that anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's annoying because
what are you
no,
doing?
it's
Now you're
sensitive.
not going to stop. Well, I can't do anything. I can't run outside the base.
Now you're going to have a
Yeah.
fight.
Right.
You know?
Right, and I think that's stupid. That's the only fun part of baseball was cleats high at second base, take out the double play, and you're going to stand on the train tracks, you're getting run out. But they took that away. It's like, okay, well then what's next? Everybody makes a team, there's no keeping score. I mean, it's like society
You
now.
hit a home run in Showboat, Nolan Ryan was knocking your ass down.
Yeah,
Right.
the Noogie Master.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that goalies, once they're outside that, in the back behind that, they're free game.
See, I think the back of it is still considered, that's still goalie area.
But there's
I don't
no
know.
play.
You know, I don't-
There's no play for the goalie to be out there for.
I don't know.
Why are you there?
I think you have a point.
Yeah.
Maybe behind the goalie. Either way, I think the goalie should not
If
be.
the goalie
overly
wants to come
protected.
around and pick up the puck, then
Yeah, you're not making a you're not making a
you're
save.
not going to make a save.
No, that's a good
But the
point.
goalie had free. He had it coming and going. You came through his crease. You were in his zone in the
Yeah.
old days, and you suffered.
Yeah.
He didn't force that zone. So if you got
Right.
behind, he had to pay the price too.
I agree.
Because he was
Yeah, I
almost
mean, you're
open
getting
season.
whacked in the laces or behind or cup checked or whatever. But
That's all Chelios. He had nothing to do with
Yeah,
that
he
areas
just-
of zone.
he ran him,
Kill
man.
him, so.
Poor Chelly got run. Well, the other one too was is it Brown? I think his name was Brown for the Penguins. He scores. Look that up. If you've never seen it, Google that on YouTube. He comes in, scores, and doesn't do a big celebration. Just arms in the air, but right next to Hextall, who wasn't having it. And then Hextall looks over at him, looks at him again, and just goes and charges him.
got some
And the
cigars you
guy
want?
who's a forward like looks over, like, oh crap, and just takes off running away from the goalie. It's the funniest thing to see. Like he's like celebrating, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh crap, and just takes off
Move over
running.
here for a minute.
yeah,
And then go back there before we
hilarious.
wrap up. We're going to get a little bit of talk with Moses in a minute.
yeah.
All right, so keep going. And then after he talks, we're going to wrap up, but then we want to hear about your business as well.
Oh,
Okay?
I'm glad you brought up Chelios because that's one of my favorite. I think he can still go in and play right now.
Oh, I tell ya.
I want to add my defenseman as Charlie.
You know, since you like Chelly, we'll look up. He's trying to get the puck away from Pavel Datsuk. They're just like goofing off. He cannot. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but Datsuk is one of my favorite forwards. Yeah, that's awesome too. Just Google the Magic Man, Pavel Datsuk. But he'll sit there and he's just like keeping the puck. And Chelly, who's an excellent defenseman, could not get the puck away from him. Just between his legs, under his stick. I mean, just made him look foolish. It's hilarious to watch.
That was an era of great. Both those teams, Detroit and Chicago, were both Detroit had they were just incredible. They just mowed down. Every time the Sharks thought we were good, we're getting to the playoffs.
No.
You're like, it's over.
Sit down again.
Yeah.
Then the commercials of that era were really good too. The Chelios one was one of my favorite ones where they're like, they want to get an interview, and you see him, he goes in, slams the door to the penalty box. Okay, you got 2 minutes for the interview. That was great.
Speaking of commercial, go ahead.
As we're talking about commercials, here's our plug here for Moses, the owner of Cigar Mas Fino, or one of the owners of Cigar Mas Fino. You may have remembered from last show. Moses, welcome.
Hey,
Moses.
welcome back, gentlemen. Hello, everybody. So today we will be discussing one of our core brands, is the Grand Habano. We've been here 12 years, and this cigar has been on our shelf for 12 years. Cigars come and go. This has always been a big hit for us. It's well made. George Rico and his father teamed up and made this cigar. It's an endurance cigar. Matter of fact, you're a big fan of it.
I like
All the time. He's the big guy, though.
I like larger ring gauge cigars, and they have a number 5, Corojo number 5. That is an excellent. All their cigars are excellent, but that's my favorite one. It's a little spicier than the others, but their Connecticut is really good. I think that rivals Patel's Connecticut. Quite honestly.
Yeah, you're right. Their Connecticut does. This is the Corojo number 5, though. This is the bolder of the brand. They're full body for gentlemen who kind of smoke like on a daily or who need that fix in their life.
He's talking about me.
Is this what we're smoking now?
This is a novel.
No, this is a
We're
novel.
smoking novels at the moment, but I just wanted to speak briefly about this cigar. It's best bang for the buck. They're about $12. But a really, really good cigar, and I would love for you guys to come down and try all 3 blends.
Now, Mo has a business meeting, folks, or else he would have stayed along with us. But 2 things. One, talk about some of the great beers that you have here and your holiday hours.
Yes. Okay, so
And the comedy show.
Yes, that's true. We just started serving coffee now. So anyhow, we are a craft beer house. We do have craft beer on tap. We try to specialize more on the craft beer than just regular beer. But all of it's available, import, domestic. Our selection of craft beer has been a big hit for us. Some of the stouts that go real well with cigars, the blondes with the lighter, and then the sweeter beers, as in like vanillas and coffee beers, flavored beers. But right now, currently on tap, we have a limited edition of a vanilla stout, which is like 8.5% from Hawaii.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, he's Hawaiian.
Let's just see. We might have to order
Yeah,
that
the
one
Kona.
here. The Kona blend?
Yes.
That's right. Yes. There you go. I have to try that.
Now we know one.
Yep.
So anyhow, yes, we do have a lot of craft beer in the house, bottles, tons, probably about 40 different beers here.
Are you the only cigar shop that has a liquor license?
Yes, no, a beer and wine license.
A beer and wine
Yeah,
license.
they're very, very rare in the state of California. In order to do both in the same room, the state's real picky on smoking in a bar, or your bar, your smoke shop. Which one is it? We're both. We got it through. So
awesome.
these are very, very rare shops to have both, to do both. Yeah, so it's very special.
So it's the only place in town where you can get a great smoke and a drink, and not have to go outside
And watch the game.
and watch the game.
And we have great women, men that come in here, business, just social, relax.
Great networking area.
So your holiday hours?
So we will be open all week to Christmas Eve. We're going to try and stop as late as we can. We'll play that by ear. But Christmas Day will be closed. But we will be, this is the first time in a long time, but we will be open on New Year's.
Nice.
New Year's Day for a lot of the bowl games. And
Oh, we got to make that an event.
we get a lot
Come watch
of
some
people-
hockey.
Come watch some hockey.
The Rangers game.
Yeah, the holiday bowl games and hockey. Do they play on New Year's Day?
There's an
Outdoor
It's
game.
an outdoor game. It's
During the day.
the winter
in Buffalo.
classic.
Rangers
Yeah.
in Buffalo.
Rangers in Buffalo. And tell them about the comedy, because this is, did you talk comedy yet?
No, not yet. And you're right there. We are trying to. We have been bringing in comedy acts here on we try to do it once a month on a Friday, and we're having one on the 29th.
Yeah.
We put the stage in here.
Right here?
Yeah, right where we're sitting.
People, come on out, man. The comedy is top notch. Danny Milch
Big
production.
big names too. People who've been on Comedy Central, people who've been doing the big circuits down in LA. One of the comics was on Last Comic Standing, I believe.
Nice.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, so they bring big names when they come to the circuit to the Central Valley, and they want to make this a comedy house at least once or twice a month.
There you go.
And that's the Friday the 29th.
29.
Friday the 29th.
Friday night, this is the once a month comedy shop. Place to be, guys. So thank you, Mo. I know you got business.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks a lot, Mo.
All right.
See ya.
And right now, Closet, get out of my chair.
No, that's all you. That's all you.
He heard about that Hawaiian beer.
Yeah, I might have to get one of those.
Beer or cigar?
So, before we have our last question to wrap up, for those of you who don't know, Kala runs a business. Let's talk about it a little bit.
The shameless plug.
Yeah. Hey, listen. The man does some incredible work. You see him downtown Fresno, and next minute it seems like he's up at the China Peak.
China Peak today. I was up at China Peak. I took some pictures over there as well. Still no snow. They did get to open up the Bunny Run. Their day lodge is open. They're hoping to get snow Wednesday. So if you get a chance, go up to China Peak. Great bunch of people up there. Tim Cohe's a great guy. Matt Babcock is I believe the new chef that's up there now. Great guy. You gotta go check him out for sure. So
talk a little bit about your business, phone number, everything.
I run a business. It's VPhones, vphones.com. It's V as in Victor, PHONES, it's plural. Basically, we run we have a hosted IP phone system that we run. We have close to almost 1,000 users right now, hoping to grow. We've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years. Basically, we give you the phones to use, and we can cut your phone bill up to 75%. We've had our first customer, which was a trucking company. They had 4 phones, 4 phone lines with AT&T, or their analog lines. Their phone bill was about $1,200 a month. We knocked that down to about $250 a month.
Oh my gosh.
And their first phone bill, they called me up and says there was a mistake. And I asked, okay, let me look at your phone bill. And I go, well, you have 4 phones. You have these many 800 numbers. This is what's wrong with your bill. He goes, well, it's way low. You missed something. I go, oh, no.
We missed the tip.
That's your phone bill. I said, if you want, I can make it a little bit higher, and I'll just pocket the rest. And they've been a solid customer with me they're actually my very first customer that we have, and now we have, we just picked up another one. I won't say the company's name because I'm not sure if I can use it, but they have 3 offices here in town, 1 in Merced, 1 in Salinas, 2 going in Bakersfield. I have 2 call centers that are in place right now. I have phones that's in New York, Colorado, Idaho, Connecticut. So I have them all over the place. It's a great thing. I won't. If you want to know pricing, give me a call.
What's the number?
It's I don't call it, so I don't know.
Go to the website.
It's go to the website, vphones.com. You can call us at 559-905-9800. And you can talk to Deveray. She's a great gal. She'll put you in touch with me, and you always work with me. So
that's excellent.
Thanks a lot for that.
When you have the owner on premises scoping your job out, that goes a long way.
He normally does, because he's always gone for a job. So you're the one that does all the work, right?
I do everything. I go out and I have another company that actually is a competitor of mine. As a matter of fact, we were just talking that we're competitors, but we work together. We don't believe in that I'm going to undercut this guy, I'm going to undercut that guy. My prices are set. And if it's something better, by all means, go. But I have people come back and sit there and say, it's... Oh, are we up again?
Yes.
Claw's even happier.
Oh, wait, did Phil Kessel... Oh, yeah, Phil Kessel wasn't in on that goal.
Yeah, he'll come on, break a stick in a minute.
Right, yeah. He's probably still eating his hot dogs. Anyways, you'll get me. We're 24 hours, so if you call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll answer it. If I don't answer it, I will call you back at 3:05. So that's how it works.
So remember, folks, vphones.com.
Yep.
And we're going to end kind of on the final comments here with the holidays coming up. And, we're going to be off next week. And we're going to be probably off New Year's Day.
I'll be in Vegas.
Yes, he's going to be in Vegas.
Nice.
Yes, and if you know him, he'll be at the sports book somewhere.
Probably.
The poker table.
Poker table.
I'm trying to get tickets to the Leafs and the Knights on December 31st.
Did you call Johnny Vegas?
Yeah, I've talked to him. We're working on something. I don't know if he has tickets, but we're working on a limo thing with him.
So that's great. And, we're going to do about 1 live show a month. We're going to do shows every week, but we're going to tape them. Maybe you guys come down and you'll enjoy. Here's my last question.
Come down and grab a cigar, yeah.
Yeah, come down, grab a cigar. That's what it's about.
You never know, you might end up on our interview.
That'll be good. Favorite Christmas holiday memory?
Oh, jeez. That's got to be one. Our family, we'd always go back and visit family for Christmas and everything else. One year we did. We just stayed home. And just our immediate family, and that was it. That's probably the best one that I can remember. There was no fighting, no arguing about the drive, the trip, and this, and what are we going to take, what or not. Just stayed home, had Christmas at home, just us, and that was probably the best one for me.
Excellent.
Just just getting together with family. And one memory I have for Christmas is, I know this is a little off topic, but I always watch my favorite movie at Christmas. It's Jimmy Stewart.
Wonderful Life?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Nice.
So I look forward to watching that always on Christmas Day with the family, and we get some food and just being together with family.
And before we move to Kala, inquiring minds want to know. Day after Christmas is Boxing Day. What exactly is Boxing Day?
Okay, so Boxing Day comes from, it's a Canadian holiday, officially. Actually came from England, where I think it has something to do with boxing. It's a shopping, basically.
Okay.
It's like the day after Thanksgiving for
so,
us.
Right.
You have Black Friday in the States.
Right.
In Canada and England, it's Boxing. Greatest sales. I've even heard some people tell their kids that Christmas is until the 27th, so they go shopping on the 26th to get their deals.
It is a big deal. When I went,
It's huge.
I went over there to Global. I was taking Alex up there, and then I had no clue. Oh, it's Boxing Day. It's Boxing Day. I'm looking for a bunch of boxes or something.
Right.
So yeah, that's what they told me over there. Like, oh, you're not from here, are you?
And a great tradition in Canada tied to hockey is right over the holidays is the World Junior Championships, and you never want to miss that. The great young kids in Canada against US, I think they always play on New Year's Eve, so you might want to check that as well.
Crosby was playing. That's when I first heard about
All
Crosby.
the big NHL players have come through that trip.
Mine, December 26th.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Nah, Grinch was a bitch. He succumbed to peer pressure. I'm more like I'm just not a
Same here.
Christmas guy at all. I don't know. To me, it's a day people spend money. And they're not spending it on me, so
Exactly.
I'm not a holiday guy. There's only two holidays. It's my birthday and New Year's, so that's it.
And your first day when you're back in Hawaii.
You're right, exactly. There's my Christmas. When I go back home, that's when I have my fun.
That's awesome. Well,
Probably Christmases at my dad's sister's house in Alameda. We always got together, being as all his family's in Quebec. Before we're out here, we'd all have the entire family in one giant house. It was always good.
well, that's excellent. Mine really is the kids.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, there we are. My wife and I tried so hard to have kids, and then when we do, just the whole, open up the gifts with the kids and hanging out with the kids, and that's what it's about. It's still very special. Of course, for me in faith, what the purpose of Christmas, to celebrate the birth of the Savior. And as a kid, my parents were divorced and getting divorced, and we knew they were getting a divorce, and we kind of knew it would be the last Christmas that they'd be together, and we all got bicycles, and I remember that for that reason, because it was like we knew right after that they would probably go their separate ways, and we got 3 bikes. I remember that one. So, to all of you out there, we're going to close now, and we want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and just, God bless and peace to you all. And, it's all about hockey, so come join us for our next live event or for our next taping, and we will
I
speak to you
have
all
one last
soon.
thing
Whoa.
to say I forgot. Because I know if someone's going to watch this, they're going to yell at me. Congratulations to the Fresno Adult Hockey League Checkers team.
Yes.
Level 3. We won our second champion. Well, I won my second in a row championship, so couldn't have done it without our team.
Excellent.
It was a great game.
What was the score?
2-0.
Nice. A
And
shutty.
it was a lot closer than that. A lot closer than that. So,
Nice.
Take care, everybody.
thanks
Sign
a lot.
off.
Ciao.
Subscribe.